Ladies and gentlemen, it's 107 on a Saturday afternoon. That means it's time for Inside Georgia Real Estate with Deborah Morton, my sister. How are you, my darling?
Hello, Shelly. I'm just back from travel and learning and training and being coached. And this is real estate professional conference season. Everybody I know is out training and at conferences, learning, growing, doing all the things.
So I have two questions. Let's start with the first question. What did you learn? What are the expectations that you're learning from this conference for 2026? And the second question I want to ask is, why is it important to have this kind of training?
Yeah, no, both things. It was fascinating. I couldn't help while I was there. As someone who travels and does a lot of coaching and training, I never take my foot off the gas with learning, and neither should any professional in any industry. That's not just specific to real estate.
Never stop learning.
Never stop learning. That's just a growth is a core value of mine. Now, what I am watching coming into this year is there is so much happening in the real estate industry. There is a merger and acquisition that time will tell how it's going to roll out and impact everybody. But one big brokerage bought another holder of like 12 brokerages. So pretty much every name you know in real estate is now consolidated under one umbrella. And how could that be helpful? Well, it could create efficiencies of scale, but my thought is monopolies in any shape or form in every industry are dangerous. So I'm watching how this is going to play out, because as an independent, a boutique broker, independent still, I think it's curious how we're going to watch how the control over the data and the standardization of everything that all these companies do, could it impact pricing, extra fees? Will it reduce pricing? I mean, that's right. It could happen.
When you say ask the data, what do you mean by the data?
So what I'm seeing, our industry has changed so fast in the last 2 years. A lot of it is the AI. It's technology has changed everything, and everything that we do in real estate now is tech enabled and tech based. And that's not just about the properties and the reports and the marketing, but it's consumer data. That is the thing that's at stake, because all of us are data. There is no getting off the grid anymore. Like if you're online, you have a phone, you live in any part of the metropolitan area, there is data not just on your home and your property, but on your consumer habits. And that is what is up for grabs. Zillow has been collecting this data for years. They have a huge head start on everybody because they started out as a marketing company that dealt in real estate. This entire time, they have been collecting consumer data on properties.
Gotcha.
They own all of it. And we started to see the class action lawsuits first. There are more piling up. Those class action lawsuits could impact the direction of how a lot of things go. But then separately, we now have this monolithic, this huge dynasty of a real estate brokerage that could be, I mean, they're geared up to go head to head against Zillow. So what does that mean for the consumers and the independents like me? So I'm just watching it carefully. That's what we can do. But I do know things will continue to change. 2024, we saw massive change. 2025, it was a flat year for sales, but there was massive change happening behind the scenes. So it's my job to stay on top of that.
Let me ask you this. The change that happened behind the scenes in 2025, did that impact consumers positively, negatively, or kind of in between, all around the place?
For every negative, there's a positive.
Gotcha.
So it depends.
For the consumer.
For the consumer. So what I try to watch is how can I, as your trusted professional, stay abreast of the changes and make sure that my clients are not impacted negatively. So I think a lot of this, even like with the data, is as long as the consumers are aware of what's happening, it's not as harmful. I like to defend the consumers and the agents in the industry. When change happens and people are not made aware and it's not transparent and clear, that's a problem. So that's the thing. We don't know how this is going to play out, but the change happens so fast. It's not like, okay, next year our new contracts will read like this.
Right.
This is happening. It's not necessary. We have contract changes all the time. I have another contract class this coming week.
What do you mean by contract changes?
Yeah,
because I would think it's just I can go to Google right now and print a contract and it would read the same. What do you mean by contract changes?
So the contracts we use, the Georgia Association of Realtors, we use standardized forms, and those are constantly being tweaked and changed based on changes to the federal law and state law.
Gotcha.
So as things change, the contracts change as well. That's not new. There is a minimum amount of continuing education classes that are required for every professional who holds a license. That's Georgia state requires that. We also have our realtor board trainings, continuing education, but that's a minimum. What I do and what we do at the agency Atlanta is far, far in excess of the minimum required continuing education. The minimum is so minimum. I believe that the industry standards are way too low. I think the top-notch professionals like our people and others in the area, there's plenty of us here in Atlanta,
right,
that train constantly. They pay, they invest in their education with business coaching, real estate specific, marketing changes, technology changes. There's so much that we have to learn. And that's on us because we're all independent contractors.
Right.
So when people say, oh, realtors make too much money, well, what they're not factoring in is how much I have to invest to get the training
Absolutely.
I need to serve at a high level.
404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. Those are the numbers. This show is designed for you to call in and ask any and all real estate questions of Deborah. She's the expert. She is with Agency Atlanta. The website is InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com. So 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. You talked about the investment. I'm either buying a home or selling a home. I'm your customer, right? One way or the other. Why is that important to me? Why is the education, a consistent growth, consistently looking to learn? Why is that important to me?
It's important to you to protect you. So we'll start at the very basic level. If you hire someone who doesn't stay on top of contract changes, you could be liable. You could be signing documents unaware of how the impact is. Your agent should be able to articulate and teach you, explain to you every facet of the documents. And even though Georgia, compared to states like California, which is very complex, our contracts are still legal documents that bind you to the transaction. So it could cost you, I mean, you're liable if after the fact you've signed something, but that's at the very basic level. On a more advanced level, if I'm selling your home and I haven't stayed up to date on training with changes in marketing, on YouTube, social media, all the places, print media, global marketing, all of those things are available to you. And if you're going to pay somebody to market and sell your home, you deserve all of the package.
Right.
Unless you want to sell your home by yourself, which is legal and fine. But if you choose to hire somebody, you better make sure that they know what they're doing and have invested in every aspect of it, because one agent wears many, many hats. For example, I was out of town for a week. My team, my business continued to operate and run the business I was still working. I checked messages, like any good pro would do, but nothing fell through the cracks. And when you hire somebody, you're hiring a person. Who supports the person? Do you have a listing manager behind you, a marketing manager, all the support to make sure that everything is seamless? Because at the end of the day, you don't care anything except your results. You want results, and that's what you hire us for. So we need to produce those results. Yet it's very common in real estate for a solo agent to wear all the hats, and they have to do all the things.
404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. Those are the numbers to call. Deborah is the expert. The show is called Inside Georgia Real Estate. The website is InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com. Give us a call, 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. We will be right back, ladies and gentlemen.